Today we're going to talk about charts. This is lesson 3 in our discussion of working with images. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to insert, manipulate, and edit charts. Now, on the screen I have a new document that I've created, a fictitious letter to shareholders of Slane Corp. Now, Slane Corp is a real company. It's my company, but we are an IT services company, not retail. But for the purpose of this lesson, Slane Corp is now an amazing retail powerhouse that just had a stellar quarter. Or a stellar year, excuse me. So because of this, we're going to pay $1 dividend to all shareholders. This template I found on office.com by going to File, New, typing in Business Letter, and downloading the template. Templates are nice because they contain all the information you need except the body already in the proper format. So we notice we have the date, the address, my address, who we're sending it to, and since it's all shareholders, there's not a street address, the greeting, the complimentary close, and the signature are all there already in the right place. So anyway, what we're here to look at is the chart I have here in the middle. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And when you think charts, you probably think, wait a minute, charts are what we can do in Excel, but we can also do charts in Word, and in fact you can also do them in PowerPoint. But here we're going to focus on the chart I've created here in Word. So if we click on the chart, notice, just like SmartArt, we get two contextual tabs on the ribbon, Design and Format. Now, this looks very much like what you'd see with charts in Excel. We can change colors. We have various chart styles. I like that one. So we have various chart styles here. We can edit the data. We can change the chart type. The same chart types that are available in Excel, for the most part, are available here in Word. Now, if I want to edit the data, what happens is I actually get an Excel-like spreadsheet down here with my data. Now, if I wanted to add another series, like let's say we had 4 departments, let's say we had the toys department, notice the data will automatically, the blue box here will automatically scoot over to accommodate my new series. The blue box is what's in the chart. So let's put some data in here. Let's say we sold, toys was our small department, so 2,500, 2,100, and Christmas season we said we had a big deal. Okay, so here is our new toy data for each quarter, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, when I'm done editing the data, I can simply hit the X. Now, for edit data, I have another option. I can actually edit the data in Excel, which will open Excel, full-blown Excel, and here's my chart data. So if I make changes here, I just have more options. I have the full options, the full range of options in Excel here to edit my data. So if I exit this out, notice I didn't make a major change, but I have both ways to edit the data. Now, layout options, again, remember this is Word, so our chart must be in a line or in a paragraph. So we have the same layout options we had the exact same layout options we have with SmartArt and images, we have with charts as well. Now, here, my chart is below the text, so these options really won't do anything because the chart's in its own paragraph already. Remember, I can go to See More, and the alignment options, the horizontal and vertical options are exactly the same as they are for SmartArt and images. So this works exactly the same as it did when we talked about it in the image lesson. Size, we talked about that in the image lesson as well, how we can resize our chart. We can type a number here, or we can use the resize handle here. Now, I can add a chart element. For example, if I want to add the data table, which this actually puts the actual data below the chart. So if you have a lot of elements in your chart, it's kind of nice to see the actual numeric data so you can kind of compare it to the chart or to the bar, so it's kind of more exact. I can put in data labels, label the top of each one, and notice if I click it out here I have an arrow. This gives me options. So data table, if I turn that on, I can say no legend keys, with legend keys, and I have more options, which opens a sidebar over here that gives me options for my table. So I'm going to turn that, I'm going to go back here, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to turn my data table back off. If I want to turn it off, all I have to do is click on it, check or uncheck the box. I want to turn the legend off, for example. Can uncheck the box there. In this case, without the legend, it's kind of difficult to tell what the data is, so the legend is appropriate. And on legend, of course, we have options. Where do we want the legend, etc. Our third option down here is chart styles. This opens a sidebar of the exact same thing as up here. It opens the chart styles. Gallery, color, same thing as the change colors up here. So it gives us multiple options. Here is the filter. So show me a subset of the data. Only show me the tools. So notice so only show me the tools data for the year, and notice that it dims the other data to highlight the data you have selected. So if I actually apply this, only show me tools data for Q2, and apply this, notice now our chart has disappeared down to just Q2 tools data. Now a more realistic or useful thing would be show me only Q2 data for all of my departments, or show me my tools for the whole year. So here's just my tools department isolated for the whole year. So that is the filter. So I'm going to turn back on select all here so we go back to our normal chart. Alright, so that's the basics of working with charts. Now, again, we have the same options here for shapes. We can do word art. Here's the size I've talked about. We can arrange it. All the same options we have for images and smart art we also have for charts. So, as I said, there's our basic discussion of charts. You might be asked to edit or insert a chart on the certification exam. So quickly, let's talk about actually inserting a chart. I've shown you a chart and how to edit it, manipulate. Let's talk about editing. So I'm just going to create a blank document here real quick. Insert chart, and here's our options. We'll just pick the same chart we had, and it'll open up with some default data, 4 categories, 3 series, and just some default data down here. And if we want to change it, we just type in it. So let's see, let's change our style here. We'll call this and then if I wanted to, I can edit the categories. Now if I want to get rid of a category, let's say I only want 3 categories. So if I get rid of category 4, just delete. Notice category 4 now goes away. However, probably want to make a change here when I do that, because now notice my chart's kind of it's not centered anymore. I've lost some data over here. So if I'm done with this, I can come back over here and select data, and then I can make the change. I can turn off this bottom category down here. Notice my blue box now has the blank, but if I pull it up here, now notice I only have my 3 categories. Now what I did before is I actually turned it off where it doesn't display, but it still was on the chart. So now if I drag it up here, the blue box around category 1, 2, and 3, now my data, I don't have a blank space on the chart as I had before. Notice I don't have this awkward blank space over here. So all I have to do is come down here, drag this up, and category 4 is eliminated. Hope you enjoyed this short discussion of charts, and we'll look for you in the next lesson.